try!
Scotty, a tough one to finish the season on. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, pretty wrecked. It was super physical out there. The game was pretty back and forth for about a good 60, 70 minutes there, and then they really sort of turned it on in the last 15. And unfortunately, we were on the wrong end of the stick there.
You guys gave yourself a chance, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We knew we had to come out hard from the start. To give ourselves the best chance possible. And heading out from half time, we felt really confident. That we could keep it up and get the job done. But unfortunately, it just didn't go that way.
A fair bit of pessimism, I suppose, about Australian rugby. Did you going to this game going, we're going to get everything and we can beat, not just show them the first half. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it just sort of came down to just belief as a group and as an individual. At the end of the day, we know this season was all about us and our friends and our family, and that's all that we could really rely on at the end of the day, and that's all anyone in their teams can rely on. So those sort of things are what they are. They're an external distraction, but we said we wouldn't let that affect us.
I guess what I was trying to say is, did that give you belief at least that these guys aren't superhuman? You had it on them for 40, 50 minutes.
We were confident, whether or not with our squad. A lot of the games that we've lost this year were by 7 points or less. It could have really changed the way our season ended anyway. But we knew we had the calibre of player and the game plan to get the job done. And just at the end of the day, they a lot more. They executed in the big moments and got the points. So it's just the way rugby goes sometimes.
Scott, you mentioned family and friends. What was it like when you saw Christian? Or you probably would have known in the change room, but when he ran out with you in the second half?
Yeah, they announced it at half time, but I was still pretty tired by then. But like I said, it's an amazing feat. To think that 12 months ago, he was in hospital while all tubes in him and doing chemotherapy, and he's come out. So and that's the thing. I think today was bigger than rugby. Christian's alluded to that. Rugby is such a small part of our lives, when I guess things do get put in perspective. But, he reiterated to us that, everyone's sort of saying he's an inspiration, but he said he's been so inspired by us and the support that we've given him. And that's really got us up, after this loss as well, knowing that, he draws a lot of inspiration from as much support that we've been giving him.
So a different, because that's 5 finals now that you've lost, but this one seems to have a different feeling after it in terms of, you gutted you didn't win that one, but there's a brighter outlook on life. Yeah,
I think so. And I guess alluding to the fact that everyone's been a bit down on Australian rugby. We showed that if we can hold that sort of intensity for 80 minutes, the future's bright for us here. I guess the great thing about it is that we're keeping a lot of the youth here. Everyone's going to be that 1 year wiser next year as well, and if we do get the opportunity again to play some finals rugby next year, everyone's had that little bit of a taste, and we'll be ready for it.
Next year you got Christian probably playing more time, David Pocock coming back, and an exciting bunch of young guys. The future's pretty bright.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal that you can sort of say Poe's coming back after a year off, and he's been saving rhinos and being a humanitarian over there. Just how much more of a good bloke does he want to be? But to have a player of his calibre coming back into the squad next year is pretty unreal. And I think a lot of the young guys will get a kick out of it. He's been, I guess everyone's sort of followed him for a while, and I know how I was when I got to meet a lot of these guys in 2012, and a lot of these guys I grew up watching. So. I think it'll be pretty special for them once he comes into the fold next year.
So you know Christian really well, you look at the corner and stuff. But throughout that whole period of his recovery, did he ever doubt that tonight would come? You know what I mean? He always had this goal.
Yeah.
Obviously there were dark times there.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think Christian's been so good at sort of taking everything one step at a time. He sort of said, look, I'm going to get through my treatment, my 100-day treatment. And, that's the goal. And then he just set a new goal and just keep attacking it. And, he got everyone on board and said, this is the way I'm going to go about it. Get on board and we'll achieve it together. And, that's been the special thing. He got through his 100-day treatment, went into remission and said, my goal is to come back and train with the squad. Got through that goal, then he said my goal is to come back and play for Vikings, and they went through that, and then Brumbies, and it's been an ongoing process, and it will continue to be for him. This is something that he'll probably still deal with for the next couple of years, but he's so diligent in everything he does. I know that he'll attack it head on.
Scotty, that was the last time Bernie's kind of addressed the group as a coach. Did it get emotional in there for him?
Yeah, I think a few boys had a few tears in their eyes. I think Dan McKellar the most, but his successor. But it is. I mean, look, I think his accolades speak for themselves. How much he's contributed to this organisation and to Canberra as a whole. He's been here in Canberra for pretty much all his life, and with the Brumbies for over half of his life. And as I've said before to Bernie, I wish him all the best, and I hope to keep working with him in the future. But the work that he's done at this club hasn't gone unnoticed, and I wish all the best to him and his family.
Scotty, sorry to ask you another one about Christian.
Yeah.
But are you, as you were saying the other day, you live nearby him, so you obviously spend a lot of time there. Every time we saw him, he was smiling, and most of the times he was in a Brumbies HQ, he was smiling. I don't know, did he ever let on that there were some dark times for him? Did he ever need to lean on you guys? Yeah,
look, I think his biggest supporter and his number one fan is his son, and he doesn't even know it. I mean, the unreal thing for me is to see how excited he is as being a father. I mean, not a lot of people get to see how he is at home with little Jeremiah and how he is with Lunga as well. But that's the awesome part for me, is to see the kick he gets out of what his son does around, and when his son smiles at him, just to see the warmth in his smile back at him. Those are the moments that you truly sort of you sometimes overlook. You don't get to cherish, but that's the biggest kick I get out of going over. It's just to see how he interacts with his son and his family. It's pretty unreal, and I guess for me it's something that I'd like to emulate one day when I have a family.